Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Taco Tuesday edition of The Rundown. I am your host, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras, in California. And that would be Craig DeLuz. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
That's right. I help them. I come to you live from the East Coast, from the far right East Coast. My name is Mike Polnicek, and I am the co-host on the Rundown.
That's right. You come to us from America.
America, the lands of guns and tacos. Well, actually, you know what, Craig? It's a sad story. I brought extra tacos home for lunch today, so I could have a taco right here. You know, like you were to go to a store and come back and I'd be eating a taco, and I went inside to grab the tacos right before we started the show, and my daughter was eating them.
Okay, that's hilarious. That
She
is
ate my
totally
taco.
hilarious. That's what happened.
Taco thief.
For those of you who do not know, that is life with kids.
Yes. Yep. She was taco thieving away. She was like, "What? What?"
And you got to be proud of her because she got her taco on.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna probably take her to school an hour early tomorrow, just to make up for it.
Just to
She
make
doesn't
an
know
hour
yet.
early.
Yeah. She doesn't know about it yet, so
Nice,
we'll see who
nice.
has the last laugh.
He who has the laugh last laughs best. Is that how
Exactly.
the saying goes?
Sounded good to me.
Okay, that's the story, and we're sticking to it.
There you go. There you go.
So yeah,
How was your
do you
day?
have
How was
tacos
your,
on
how
the
was,
on the on the menu for today? Is the big question.
do I have more tacos on the menu for today?
Yes.
Well, I mean, now I have to, right? I got to go back out. I had a taco dinner craving, and they're
Oh,
gone, so I'm gonna have to go out and get more.
we will be enjoying steak tacos today.
No. I think I'll probably have some tongue.
Some tongue tacos.
Yeah, yeah,
You
that's
like
good
tasting
taco
food that
right
can
there.
taste you back?
Oh yeah, good stuff.
It's like it's
Good
tasty in
stuff.
more than one way.
That's right. Just imagine though, it's got to taste all the way down and out.
Oh, Mikey, you're too much. You are too much, Mikey. Hey, before we get going, you want to say a quick hello to our sponsors?
Yes, let's say hello to Gorilla Defense. Let's say hello to Grid Defense and Gorilla Machining. Bunch of great guys, great people, and tomorrow is when we find out what the weekly giveaway will be.
Right. You know what's really cool, Mike, is like every time when I pull you up when you have their T-shirt out, it's like there's that palm that's like that high five that's behind you over your shoulder.
Oh, this one
That's
here.
that's kind of neat. Yeah, no, other hand.
That's it. That's the back of the Gorilla Defense, or excuse me, Gorilla Machining shirt there. So I don't know why they chose the palm there, but they did. So we support the palm.
They did it and it works. High five.
Yeah.
Wait,
As I
hold
said,
on,
it's
wait. Let
probably
me.
some kind of racist
So I
thing
can
we
do
don't
it.
even
Wait,
know
wait, no,
about.
wait, where you at? Wait, hold on. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Ready?
Let's get down here and no, the other way. Got to go the other way.
Oh,
Oh yeah, you probably need to use the other hand.
yeah, we would totally not be able to Maverick and Goose this. So
Okay, no. Okay. Anyway, all right. Maybe okay. While y'all may have found that to be incredibly stupid, I found it to be
yeah,
entertaining. So that is all we really need.
it's I feel the need for retarded speed. Come
Well,
on.
because
Didn't work.
that there be how it be, right?
Hey, hey, sometimes we have good days and then there's today. So
Sometimes we have good days, and then there is today.
yeah.
All right,
We promise to bring you better show starting now. Now.
starting now.
Now's a good time. Now's a good time.
Now would be a good
Oh
time.
boy.
That would be a real good time. Okay,
Yep.
so let's get on. Let's start talking about the stories of the day. So the first thing has to do with, well, January 6th. And January 6th just doesn't seem to want to go out of our memory. Evidently, we're going to continue to talk about it for a while. Well, the Capitol policeman who was involved in the only really death that was specifically related to January 6th, or to the quote unquote rally and the stuff that took place at the Capitol that day. he actually came out and he's now done an interview. And in this interview, he really kind of focuses in and talks about, what happened that day and, the decision that he made. The gentleman who was the actual shooter, the gentleman who shot Ashley Babbitt, he's Capitol Police Lieutenant Michael Byrd. And he talks in an interview with NBC News about why he decided to shoot. And, the interesting thing is now this comes out after he's been not exonerated, but they basically said, we're not going to file any charges. He's not going to be investigated for anything further. But what's interesting about this particular interview is that, Mike, in this interview, he specifically points out that he knew that Ashley Babbitt wasn't armed, and yet he shot her because he believed that the Capitol was under threat. And I'm interested to get, you've seen the videos, you've heard a lot of the commentary and all of that. I'm just really just tripping off out of the fact that he shot an unarmed woman and knowingly. Now he's saying he knowingly shot an unarmed woman and supposedly isn't facing any potential charges.
Yeah, Craig, this is the problem with the cover-up is that when you have that briefing, you need to let the people know that you're covering up, that they're being covered up, and they need to stop talking because this guy evidently did not get the memo that they're covering for him. Craig, you called him a gentleman. I won't do such. I'm going to call him the shooter, the suspect. Hopefully we'll be calling him defendant soon. This lieutenant, allegedly, this is the gentleman who shot. I think that after 6 months of all the witnesses standing there and seeing this person shoot Ashley Babbitt, that somebody may have described him as a black male, because that's kind of an important fact with everything else that's going on in that country. I think that's a fact that may have been pointed out a little bit earlier because we could not see him on the video. Anyway, the Department of Justice said he is cleared. He is exonerated. The U.S. Capitol Police Department said cleared, exonerated. No charges will be filed because this officer was in fear for his life, in direct fear for his life, believed that his life was in jeopardy, and that's why he used deadly force. He goes and does this interview with I think it was NBC with Lester Holt, and he says, "Listen, I couldn't even see her hands or the backpack. I just know that earlier in the day they were violent, so they might have been capable of violence again. So that's why I shot her." I'm sorry, what? What? You're going to jail. All right, you're going to jail. Maybe this is your way to say you don't like the way the rulings, you don't agree with the DOJ or the U.S. Capitol Police, but that that's definitely not what was released by those two agencies. That was your story. This is a different story completely now, one that implicates you in her death.
I just don't understand. I'm just thinking. Here's what I'm thinking. Okay, so let's change a few facts of this story. Let's say that instead of the Capitol insurrection, this was a BLM riot. And they were trying to break into a federal courthouse building, right? And let's say it was a white officer. Now, and once again, it was a female. It was a let's say it was a black female, right? So let's say there was a riotous crowd outside of a federal courthouse building, and they were trying to break in, and there were staff inside this federal building, and the white officer shot an unarmed black woman. I'm willing to bet that there would be riots just based on that, especially once the white cop admitted that he knowingly shot an unarmed woman.
Yeah, no debate. I mean, I can't even give you odds, or an over and under here. There's no debate. That's exactly what would have happened. This would have been that would have gone the other direction at warp speed, as opposed to this 7 month day now, over 7 month a delay in attempted cover up now.
Yeah, and by the way, folks, in case you've only paid attention to the mainstream media. This is the only death that specifically resulted out of the January 6th, whatever you want to call it. The other deaths that they look to, one of them the guy died of the guy that basically died of the law enforcement officer, the one they always talk about. He died of a stroke days after the event, and it wasn't related to the event. Another 3 individuals had, either strokes or heart attacks, something else that was once again unrelated to the specific event. This was really the only death. In particular, it was the only shooting that took place. Because one of the things that's brought up during this interview is, well, there were reports of shots fired, and turns out that was completely and utterly incorrect. Those were completely and utterly false. There were no shots fired. His was the only shot fired that day. I don't know. It bugs me that, once again, an innocent person, and I want to say innocent, I don't want to use the term innocent, an unarmed person was shot by law enforcement, and nobody cares. What we do care about, though, is we allow riots for 6 months over a false narrative of people being shot by law enforcement. I don't know. It bothers me.
Oh, absolutely right. Listen, it was no real threat. We know this wasn't an insurrection. We know this wasn't a revolution. We know this wasn't a coup d'etat. This was some angry people pretending to be conservatives that went in there to stir the pot. We know it was some Antifa people. We know there was some angry conservatives in there also, but there was nothing that justified anything like this, including this officer's own words. He was not justified in using deadly force. So,
well, and that's the incriminating evidence right there is his own words. And I have to think that in a civil lawsuit, his own words are going to be used against him. And I also have to think that the Capitol Police need to go back and take a look at and reinvestigate this once again based on this interview, because this interview did take place after he was exonerated.
Yes, and that's why he was allowed to make that interview. So we shall see. Neither one of those is a criminal, expungement, or a formal forgiving. So this could still open itself back up again. So
exactly.
Craig, let's move on. We kind of keep on time here. We got CDC we're going to talk about. Got it noted on the board here twice, folks. We're only going to talk about it once. In the second part, we got some Captain Florida news for you, so we'll give you that in that place. But let's talk a little CDC, Craig. Here.
Oh snap! We did put it in there twice. Well, I apologize, folks. That is literally all on me. And anyway, it's all the same story. But they're both kind of the same story in this particular case. So what happened was the CDC director, now that they've received some additional funding from Congress, and the Congress has told them, by the way, the whole not CDC, the whole coronavirus stimulus money, the whole infrastructure money. Yeah, CDC got some money in that. It's going to allow them to do some anti-gun research and, by the way, promotion of anti-gun stuff. So now they finally get to the point where they are able to advocate. So now that they're going to get to advocate, the director of the CDC says, look, it's time, folks, to put the pedal to the metal. It's time for us to go after these guns. And we're going to make sure that both our research and our advocacy basically goes after firearms and the Second Amendment in an effort to end gun violence.
Yeah, exactly right. Listen, this has never happened before. The CDC has always been attempted to have been under order to have been straight and narrow facts, and that's the facts only. And now they're going to take up anti-gun advocacy with their new position. So this is what you get, folks. You get the liberal president in there. Not only is he going to turn all of his neutral agencies into anti-gun or anti-constitution, anti-American, but he's going to give them extra money to do it, and he's going to make them the mouthpiece for anti-guns with firearms. Do you need much more? Do you guess whose money is paying for this too, folks? That's right, yours and mine. Now you and I could be contributing to pro-gun institutions as well as anti-gun institutions. Is apparently what we're doing.
Well, if you live in the state of California, you were already contributing to anti-gun institutions. But now you get some of your federal tax dollars to go to it as well. And that, by the way, that's vitally important for folks to understand. You know, the point is for years they've been saying that the anti-gunners have been saying that the CDC has been prohibited from doing research on gun violence, but the truth is not that is not the truth. The truth is that they've always been able to study gun violence. They've always been able to research it, but they didn't want to because what happened was they weren't able to actually advocate for gun control, and so they never wanted to. Well, now, the restriction has been lifted, and now they are allowed to advocate for gun control. Therefore, they are excited to now start doing, research on quote unquote. I'm sorry, I need to do my quotations. Gun violence again,
Air quotes. There we go.
because guns are not violent.
Well, unless you're Mexico, right? If you're in Mexico, then we know the guns are violent because we said that yesterday, or the Mexico said that yesterday, that all the violent guns, all the violent crime is caused by the guns coming in from California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. So,
You know what I'm convinced of? It's the tequila and the Coronas that make them violent.
oh man,
Because I've set my guns out on the table with tons of bourbon and never had an issue. I've even spoken harshly to. Maybe I should speak harshly to them in Spanish. Maybe that will make my guns violent.
Maybe your gun's a tequila gun. Yeah, it just doesn't like the bourbon. Wants to go with the clear liquid, not with the brown. So
there you go. There you go. Maybe I have to, or maybe because I'm into Glocks, maybe it has to be German.
Oh, that's
so I have to German. So there's a German wine called Gewürztraminer, which is German for I can't pronounce this wine.
Yes.
Either that or a good beer.
Get you some schnapps or some Oktoberfest, which stands for OK 2 Beer Fest.
2 Beer Fest.
That's what it is. OK 2 Beer Fest.
Okay, moving right along, Mike. Okay, does climate change cause gun violence? So here's the argument, and if there was ever a place where this might be a thing, it's Chicago, because Chicago, when it gets hot in Chicago, all of a sudden people get angry and irritable, and all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of shootings in Chicago. In fact, in the hood, period, there tend to be a whole lot of shootings when it gets hot. And they're saying that, well, it's getting hot because of climate change. So therefore, climate change is causing gun violence.
Right. No. So we're going to take climate change to court, and we're going to get a liberal judge to say it's unconstitutional, and we're going to put an injunction in place over climate change. That way,
ban climate change
anymore. That's right. That's how we're going to do it. Going to get one of them Hawaii Obama judges. We'll have them do it. Greg, I was so hoping that when we got to this story that you knew what the hell we were talking about, because I don't remember this story, but that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. How could climate change be responsible for gun violence? When it's hot outside, I don't want to go outside. I want to go inside. I want to take my guns inside in the cool air with me, sit down, bathe them, perhaps a nice little warm oil bath, get them nice and clean, set them on the couch with me after drying them off, and we sit down and we watch Apocalypse Now. It's a great summertime movie. But I have no idea how it's possible that it being hotter and climate change in Chicago causes more gun violence, because in Chicago, when it's cold, they shoot the guns up just so they can warm their hands. So I don't get it. I don't understand this.
Well, but Mike, once again, so the way that what the article points out is it says that, well, first of all, it happens in more disadvantaged areas where they tend to be less likely to have air conditioning. And what winds up happening is that, people are hot, they get frustrated, and therefore they are more often prone to violence. And once again, the heat, they say, is caused by climate change. Now, mind you, I've never known Chicago. I haven't been to Chicago a whole bunch of times. But every time I've been there in the summertime, it's been hot. Like hot, like humid, muggy, and hot. The reputation of Chicago, as long as I've known it during the summertime, is to be like hot, like 12 years a slave, hot, like hot. This has always been Chicago, so I don't understand what climate change has to do with it. But anyway, that's their argument.
Yeah, and it's crap.
I agree. Look, I'm just reporting the news, bruh.
Yeah, I'm sitting here. You said it again, and I'm like, Still don't get it. I still don't understand how they do it. I guess again, when we get to the winter time, do we see the opposite go around on around the country? Do we see the absence of gun violence because it's too cold? The guns are too cold. They're too cold to the touch. My fingers get cold. I can't touch the gun. It doesn't seem to make any sense, Craig. Again, like everything else we see, let's find every inane fact we can and try and make it apply towards gun violence, and then we'll squash down everything that was normal and try and make it woke and anti-gun. I don't know. So
you know what? I once again I agree with you. The point is they're going to come up with whatever they're going to come up with, and they're going to add it in, and they're going to talk about it because in the end, their goal is not truth. They're going to throw whatever they can up against the wall and say whatever they can say because, if they can get one person to believe it and they get another person to believe something else, all their goal is to get people to ban guns. That's their goal.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. All right, let's move off the climate change and skip over where we had CDC written, but that's incorrect. And we both saw that, Craig. You can't take blame for that alone. I proofread it and said, yeah, it looks good.
Thank you.
So we're both.
I appreciate that, sir. I appreciate you having my back because we both kind of looked at it and we're like, okay, yeah, we're good. All right, let's do this. And we kind of missed that. We kind of missed that one.
That's right. It was just a small pooch we screwed here, so we'll just keep going.
But look, it's real simple. Look. Let me show you how. I'll show you how easy that's corrected.
Folks. If we lose you, we'll be right back.
Look, you see how easy that was corrected?
Oh, there we go.
Just skip right over it. Just skip right over it, folks.
But we're not doing that story, right? We're going to do a quick update from Captain Florida.
Okay. Give us the update from Captain Florida.
Now we told you yesterday on Monday's show, and we told you a little bit Friday when it happened that remember the governor of Florida here, Governor DeSantis, had an executive order in place that there could not be single wave of the hand mask mandates in schools, that it had to be parents' choice, which included things such as medical reasons and religious exemptions throughout. But it was the parents' choice, and you could not rely on a liberal school district to make that decision, that health decision for you. Well, they went to a Leon County judge in Tallahassee, Florida, a very liberal judge, and that judge said that DeSantis lacked the authority to put out the mask mandate. Well, what we have going on today. So the first day that it was enforced was Monday, so yesterday. And as of yesterday, the State Department of Education, I want to make sure I get this quote right, the State Department of Education decides that they were not covered under the judge's order. So for two county school boards, the Broward County School Board, that's the Fort Lauderdale area. We know that is one of the most liberal in the state. In fact, it is the headquarters of the Democrat Party. And that's for the nation, not just for Florida. And then we have Alachua County, which is where the Gators are. And that's a liberal college town now. Not necessarily the Gators, just the supporting college area. You know how it goes when you get them liberal colleges. But the Department of Education said, fine, we're taking away your payments, your funding, your salaries for your school boards. So your school boards no longer are getting paid. And they were like, well, wait, you can't do that because the judge said the governor lacked authority. Well, and the State Department of Education said, yeah, that's fine. That's not us, though. That's the governor. We're the Department of Education. We told you we were going to do this, so nanny, nanny, boo-boo. You got no money.
Nanny, nanny, boo-boo. Look, take us to court. Take us to court.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the judge in the DeSantis case, nobody's heard from him. He hasn't even released a written copy of his order yet, because the longer it takes him to release the written copy of his order, Craig, is the longer it takes for the governor to appeal it to the next higher level. So the governor said, hey, you can sit on that piece of paper all you want. I'll be in court with or without you, because they're going to get this overturned before the end of the week.
Well, back to the Gators. Maybe the Gators aren't as liberal as you think.
No, the Gators themselves are not liberal. It's just the college.
Maybe the Gators, maybe they like liberals. Maybe they're kind of tasty.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Get them some nice woke soft pink meat. Yeah.
Woke soft pink meat.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's
That's what's
what I
going on. Well,
picture
you know
a
what? I'm
woke
glad to
person.
hear that, man, because Captain Florida is really making a strong case for his presidential run. Number one. Now, I'm
Yep.
not saying he's running because he hasn't said he's running yet, but
He's running for governor first. We know that.
right, right. He's running for governor first, and he's doing quite well.
Yep.
So anyway, so I'm very, very happy for y'all there in Florida because ultimately, look, people need to make decisions for themselves. These are health
Yes.
decisions, and people need to make health decisions for themselves. And the
Yep.
government mandating them to make health decisions, in particular, is only going to cause people to do the exact opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. So it's we will sit back and we will wait. We will pay attention and we will see what goes on, and we'll bring you the daily Florida Captain Florida Governor Ron DeSantis update. So we'll see
Exactly,
what goes on.
exactly.
We'll see what goes on.
All right, so Mikey, you're the one who actually first brought this story, but then secondly, I've got the video loaded here, so I'm going to let you, especially since you picked up on our faux pas regarding the Captain Florida story, I'll give you the blessing or the pleasure of going ahead and introducing this particular story, which I think is a fun one.
Well, we have the greatest of all time, Mr. Michael Jordan. While he was still an active player, and he was palling around with Charles Barkley. I'm not sure if this was during their Olympic run or during All-Star festivities, or just when they happened to be playing each other, or happened to be the off season and they're playing golf, because they're both really, really like to play golf, and one of them does it really well, and one of them does it horribly, horribly. Chuck, are you paying attention? That's what's with that swing. Oh my God! But anyway, they were confronted by a gentleman who asked for some spare change, and the goat had some comments to say about it.
All right, I'm going to share the video now.
No, I was gonna give a homeless guy some money one night, and he smacks my hand. Why? And he says, if he can say, "Do you have any spare change?" He can say, "Welcome to McDonald's. Can I help you, please?"
Now, this was on Oprah.
Yep.
On
Yep.
Oprah. But he's got a good point, right?
Listen, I mean, just think of the business mind here, the conservative mind, and we know that's where they both lean. We know that from Charles for sure, and we know that from Michael Jordan from his business acumen. That's where their political leanings are. When somebody says, "Hey, man, can I have some free money?" Michael Jordan's response to Chuck was, "Don't give that man money." If he could say, "Can I have $1?" he could say, "Welcome to McDonald's." That's all it takes. Now, if I was the homeless guy, though, I'd go hang out outside the McDonald's and say, "Welcome to McDonald's. Can I have $1?"
Exactly.
Just to see.
Well,
I'd do it like Clerk style, with Jay and Silent Bob. Just stand outside all day.
But see, Mike, that's the thing is that, in this country in particular, man, the opportunities are numerous. I mean, the ability for an individual to be able to go out and earn for themselves, and to come to this country with absolutely nothing and make something of themselves is huge. All right. The ability to turn your life around. People don't understand. Like 70% of the millionaires today are first generation millionaires, meaning they earned their millions themselves. They didn't inherit it. They earned it themselves. I mean, the opportunity that we have here in these United States is phenomenal. And the problem is that by giving someone a handout instead of a hand up, you're harming them. When you just give people stuff, when you don't demand something to help them, to uplift them, you're harming them actually. Especially when it's an individual who has the ability to do something, and you get in the way of that motivation that they need in order to be able to do that thing, to do what they need to do to get ahead.
What's the sign in the national parks? It says, "Please don't feed the bears," because they lose the will to hunt and they just want the free handouts.
And when they don't get the handouts from you, they eat you.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And that's not what you want, a homeless man eating you. So
no, you do not want a homeless man eating you, especially if you're tasty.
That we're actually in law enforcement, you're not allowed to call them homeless anymore.
Oh, what are they?
Well, listen, there's names that we've come to call them, but homeless has been
Hobos?
determined to be one of those derogatory words.
How about hobos? Can you call them hobos?
No, hobos is even worse. You can't call them hobos.
Oh, how about bums? Can you call them bums?
No, bums is bad. You can't. That's dirty, rotten, stinking, filthy bums, right? That's a pretty good descriptor.
No bums. So you can't call them bums. You can't call them.
No,
You can't call them hobos.
No, no.
Can you say that it's terrible? Just terrible. It's just terrible. It's terrible. Kind of like his golf swing, right?
It's not even a golf swing. It's like 3 golf swings. Just terrible.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not great at golf, but my golf swing at least looks better than that.
Listen, if the Black Knight from Monty Python with no arms and no legs took a golf swing, it would look better than Charles Barkley's golf swing. Okay?
It would only be a flesh wound.
But seriously, by the way, can't call them homeless. The names that are currently being used are outdoorsmen. You can call them an outdoorsman. You can call them like modern campers.
The unhoused?
What's that?
The unhoused?
The unhoused. I have not heard the unhoused, but
that's a California. That's a California woke term.
And adventurers, the outdoor adventurers, you could call them those. The domicilially challenged.
Right.
You could say that. That's it. But,
well, maybe we should try and get back all those like vehicles that we gave to the Taliban, and maybe they could sleep in them.
Let them live in the Humvees.
Let them live in Humvees.
I want to let you know right now, I've lived in a Humvee for 30 days.
Did you?
Damn sure did. Dude.
How would you rate it?
Well, I had 3 other guys with me, so it was an interesting experience, and it didn't happen just once either. So, yeah.
I'm assuming it was not like voluntary.
Well, at one point we volunteered. I mean, we it's an all volunteer army.
Well, no.
We weren't drafted, if that's what you're saying.
No, I'm assuming you didn't say, "Gee, I'd like to go camp out in a Humvee with 3 other soldiers."
Yeah, it's no. But
that wasn't in the brochure when you volunteered. I'm assuming.
You would not believe the versatility of that vehicle and the many sleeping arrangements you can make inside one. So,
okay. This is a family show, so we're gonna kind of cut that discussion there. But you guys are gonna love this one. This is our parting shot for today. Needless to say, the whole thing, everything that's gone on with Afghanistan and the Biden administration. It is horrible. It is shameful. And sometimes the only way in which we can really deal with it is to laugh at it. And that's what we're going to do once again with today's parting shot. As you guys all may remember, President Obama gave Iran hundreds of millions of dollars when he decided to sign the pact with them. But lately was obviously Joe Biden's hold my beer moment, as he decided to give them $85 billion. I want to say that again, $85 billion with a B worth of equipment, military equipment, including Apache helicopters, armored vehicles, 600,000 rifles, over 100,000 some odd handguns, night vision goggles. I mean, you name it. We handed it over. Surface to air missiles, aircraft. Wow. I will just say wow.
Some of which was reported to have been destroyed on the last day, yesterday, of the evacuation. But Craig, I did see, and I'm waiting to see a better picture or a video of it. I saw a picture of a Black Hawk helicopter, now Taliban operated and controlled, which probably means some former Afghan National Army or Afghan Air Force guys flying it, with someone, an unknown person, being hung from the helicopter by a rope by their feet as the helicopter flew through the air. So I'm sure they're not teaching Australian style rappelling. I'm sure. That he
Bungee
let the
jumping.
Taliban
So bungee
punishments
jumping
begin.
from helicopters is not a thing in Afghanistan.
Oh, hey, listen, not this way. Not bungee jumping. No, this is a this is let the Taliban punishments begin. So, and this is what's going on.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you got to laugh to keep from crying. So,
You ain't
folks,
that
for
right.
those of you who do not know, if you are, some of you actually may be listening to us, may actually just be listening to us because now we're available via podcast. However you get your podcast, whether it's through Spotify or iTunes or any of the other or Apple Podcasts, the rundown is now available audio only. So just wanted to let you guys know that that's included in the link to the description here. So if you ever just want to listen to us, now mind you, it's not live, so you're gonna have to listen to it, afterwards. So it's not live, but we are available for you to just listen to us via podcast. So however you listen to podcasts, look for the rundown.
Yeah, it just figures the last day of August here of 2021. It's the first day available as audio only, and I'm having a rather good hair day. You guys can't see this because you're just listening, but
you look fabulous.
You look. You know,
You
my
look
my
marvelous.
uncle.
Simply
My uncle helped
marvelous.
write that thing. My uncle in New York, a military man, helped. I have a true story. Helped write that album that came from that "You Look Marvelous" album. So he's it's kind of weird. I don't know why I brought that up.
I don't know why you brought it up, but it's entertaining nonetheless. So, hey, folks, please remember, support our sponsors, Gorilla Machining, Grid Defense. Also, make sure you're supporting the California Republican Assembly. Make sure you're visiting Arms Room Radio. Listen to Arms Room Radio. It is the bomb. Every Saturday it is on, and it is phenomenal. The guys over there do a phenomenal job. Every once in a while, they let me kind of hang out with them and chop it up. Listen to Arms Room Radio. 2A News, please make sure you're supporting all those who are involved in the making of the rundown, especially mostly make sure you're supporting Mike and me because, well, we have a good time doing this. So make sure you guys are listening, watching, tuning in, liking, and sharing, and encouraging your folks to do the same.
Do all that. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. And
like, share, and subscribe, or like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share and subscribe, bruh.
Okay. Folks, you guys have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your Taco Tuesday. Have some great tacos. Message us and let us know what kind of tacos you're having. Send us a picture if you like. Maybe we'll share some Taco Tuesday pictures next week.
There we go.
All right.
Be gone.
Holla.